Are you willing to change your mind? Welcome to Homeschool Yourself. This is a podcast that empowers you to learn and unlearn. I'm your host, Delina, and together we're going to encourage each other to be lifelong learners. I just wanted to take a minute to encourage you and remind you that there's nothing wrong with changing your mind. The one thing you can count on in life is change. Nothing stays the same. It kind of annoys me sometimes, to be honest, because I'll buy something, it costs a little bit of money, and then it breaks, or it stops working, or it gets rusty, or it gets faded. And then I have to buy another one. So I'm annoyed that things don't stay the same, that things are always changing. And somehow it always catches me by surprise that things don't last forever. And sometimes things do last forever. They work for years exactly how they used to. You know, the item looks brand new, but the technology becomes so outdated that even though that item didn't change, our times change. So no matter what, the only thing you can count on, it seems like, in life is change. My thoughts here are somewhat related to what I shared in episode 2 about continuing to grow no matter your age. And there's not a prize for not changing. Sometimes we're scared of what we'll lose if we change. If we change jobs, if we change our circle of friends, if we change our place or our way of worship, or if we change our mind about our politics and the things that are important to us. 2 articles that I read in the last few days had me thinking about this. One of them involved a study that said that when you're considering 2 options, let's say maybe between staying with the status quo and making a move that seems risky, people are most of the time happier when they choose change. Always choose action, it said. Always choose the change. I'll link to the article in the show notes if you want to read it. The other article I was reading about was about somebody who changed their mind. It was a woman who ran for school board in a town in Texas, actually close to where I live, in Granbury, Texas. And she ran on the so-called anti-woke agenda. She wanted to protect school children from the left's indoctrination. And after she won the election, she decided to review the curriculum that she'd been talking about. And this Texas Tribune article says, but after taking office and examining hundreds of pages of curriculum, Gore was shocked by what she found and didn't find. The pervasive indoctrination she had railed against simply did not exist. You think? The article keeps going. Children were not being sexualized, and she could find no examples of critical race theory. You think? Boy. The article went on to say that she'd examined curriculum related to social emotional learning, and instead of it encouraging children to question gender roles and prioritize feelings over biblical teachings. This is a public school, folks. Anyway, it says that Gore found the materials taught children how to be a good friend and a good human. Well, what do you know? What do you know? I wonder what more people would think if they actually did their own research and if they actually did their own reading outside from all of the noise and sensationalism found on social media. I'll link to the rest of the article because I think it's worth a read. It's also indicative of the politics of Texas. It's good. I'll link to it in the show notes. I have to admit, it was nice to read about someone who was willing to say, I was wrong. Even though she went on to receive threats and she was ostracized from the conservative party who's trying to dismantle public education in Texas, she's still standing firm on what she discovered. It was risky for her to change her mind, but I am so glad she did. It made me want to ask you, and really ask myself, what are you willing to learn more about and risk changing your mind about? Are you willing to change your mind about something? And are you willing to say it out loud? I would love to hear from you. You can send me a text right from your podcast app or leave a comment on Facebook or Instagram. Until next time, remember, you have the right to grow and change your mind. Go unlearn something today.
Homeschool Yourself is a production of Woke Homeschooling, Inc. For show notes and links to things mentioned in the episode, visit wokehomeschooling.com/podcast. Woke Homeschooling empowers parents to teach their kids an inclusive, truthful history. We invite you to visit our website and download a sample of the history curriculum we offer for kids. Visit us at wokehomeschooling.com.